One of the cool things about Room EQ Wizard is that you can use it to validate the correction results that you're getting using external systems. So, for example, suppose you built some digital room correction filters using Accurate or Audio Lens. You'd like to know if the results are actually what you expect them to be. Accurate and Audio Lens will provide a nice kind of preview or estimation of what the response will be after a correction, but you'd like to really know for sure if that's what you're getting in an end-to-end kind of way. Same thing as if you're using Dirac Live to do a correction of your room, you'd like to know if the results are in any way similar to what the pretty graph that Dirac shows the predicted response should be. So with Room EQ Wizard, it's fairly straightforward, and I'll show you how to do that. You have to use it a little bit different way, though, typically, than what you typically do. So first thing we're going to do is use this generator function here. And we want to generate a sweep. And I've just sort of arbitrarily picked, a sweep from 10 to 22 kilohertz. The length of 1 meg. 1 meg is a little long, but 21 seconds, 22 seconds isn't too bad. We'll set the output at 10 dB below. And instead of playing the sweep, we're going to save the sweep to a file. We're actually going to create two files, one for the left channel and one for the right. First thing I'm going to need to do, though, turn off this right channel. I want the left channel to be on, and I want to add a timing reference here. And I want that timing reference to be in the same channel that I'm going to save. And I'm just going to save this this file, and I need to pay attention to all these settings, right? So 10 to 22, 1 meg, those are all important. The sampling rate is also important. I want it to be 48. And the format here is not so critical. I think Roon can play any of these things, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. If you're concerned, you could set it to 24-bit PCM. That'd be fine too. And so we'll save this file. Call it like it'll give you a default name that has kind of all the parameters, and it's important to know what those things are for later. So we'll just save that, and we're going to make another one for the right channel. So I'm going to turn off the left channel, turn on the right, and I want to move the timing reference to that channel as well. And I'll save that file. And then through the magic of movies, I would add some metadata to those files and import them into Roon. And then once you do, I can see I've converted them here to FLAC as well. Then you'll be able to play these things in Roon. So just pretend like I did all of that stuff. I just added some metadata and made it so that it was searchable. I added Room EQ Wizard as the artist so that I'd be able to find the thing later on in Roon, right? Okay, so the next thing we need to do is prepare to take our measurement. So same thing, we're going to choose a channel. I want to make sure that the sampling rate is the same as what we picked. We want to make sure that the length is the same. I want to make sure that the start and stop frequencies are the same. And if you're using a calibration file, make sure that that's loaded. I've got a UMIK2 here with a calibration file already loaded. So go through all those steps again. If you need to bring up the Roon window, just to kind of make sure that that your settings match. 1 meg, 10 to 22 at 48. Those things are all important to get right. The reason they're important to get right is because although we're going to be playing back the sweep, I'm not actually sending the sweep to my speakers. I'll show you right now that I've just kind of routed the output of Room EQ Wizard to kind of a bogus device. In this case, it's my HDMI monitor. My monitor doesn't actually have any speakers, so I'm not going to hear any sound. You could route it to like the internal speakers of your laptop and then just turn the volume all the way down. We're not actually going to use the audio output of Room EQ Wizard, though it is going to generate that output. Instead, we're going to have Roon, our end-to-end source, be the stimulus. We're just going to kind of throw away the stimulus that Room EQ Wizard is generating. And the way that works is because we're going to use an acoustic timing reference. So Room EQ Wizard is just going to sit around waiting until it hears that first little whoop to let it know that it's time to start recording. And then it'll kind of latch on to the signal that it's getting from the external playback software, and it will kind of do everything right. So if I click start right now, we can see that it's picking up my voice, but it's waiting for a timing reference, and it'll just keep waiting until it hears that timing reference. Internally, it's generating that sweep. It's, oh, hang on, I guess it was able to hear something. Let me cancel that. I guess there was enough noise or something that it recognized as maybe a timing sequence that it was able to latch onto. So typically that's not an issue though. I'm going to click start here and then play here. And there we go. Now we've got a plot of response. What I didn't show you is that I'm actually using a convolution filter. I don't have the microphone in the right spot, so it's not going to produce very good results. But this is a convolution filter that I loaded in for the monitors that I'm using. I could now go into Roon, and if I wanted to just load like a flat response, I could do that. I probably need to drop this by about 6 dB, something like that. And we could compare kind of the before and after. So if I do another measurement, back here, replay the left sweep. Then limits. Hang on a second. To data is probably going to be. So that you see some kind of difference there anyway, and the microphone position's not quite right, but you can see that we're able to do kind of a before and after measurement with Roon providing the stimulus instead of RumiQ Wizard, and RumiQ Wizard just taking the measurements. Anyways, I hope this has been helpful.